This is her and my dad in like the 70s, around when they first met. And then here's her. She was a nurse. And here's her with her dog Marlo. This is also a long time ago. And this is her again. This is a photo that my dad took when they were younger. When I was like a toddler, she was diagnosed with leukemia, and she was given only like a couple years to live. 14 years later, let's see, I think I was a sophomore in high school, she's diagnosed with breast cancer. And I kind of knew that was more serious from the start. And then, let's see, I want to make sure I'm getting the timeline right. I believe 4 years, no, it would have been 3 years after that-ish. It was August of this year, of the past year, we were told that the cancer spread to her brain, and that was kind of like the beginning of the end there. I started to really see a decline after that, and that was really rough. And then just this January 17th at about midnight, so 17th, 18th, she passed away. My mom was in the hospital. I spent the night there just on this little cot they have on the side because my family was taking turns spending the night next to her. Things were really bad. And then I woke up, and then I went to the first day of class, and then my first class was improv, and it was this crazy juxtaposition going from this hospital room where I was confronting all these horrible thoughts and, you know, things just going on with my mom, and then just into an improv class where a bunch of adults were acting silly. And I think it was jarring and really important that I had that like little escape, that laughter, that silliness, because I don't know how it just would have been very relentless, I guess. My life would have been just relentlessly depressing if it wasn't for that improv class and for everything else that I was trying to do to like keep it light.
I met Ben at Portland State University. He took a class from my father, improvisational acting, 281 I think it's called. He sent me a Facebook message that said, Tamika, I have this great idea and I really think that you're the perfect person to talk about it with. How would you like to talk about comedy and cancer? In February this year, I was taking a shower and discovered a lump just grazing my fingers across my breast, and it didn't seem uncharacteristic for a breast. Breasts are full of crazy stuff all the time, and they're a bag full of mysteries, 2 bags full of mysteries, just cottage cheese, skin tags. So it didn't really startle me or surprise me. I actually diagnosed myself right away with something like clogged milk duct or something like that. And then after the biopsy was done, all the nurses were hurrying about, and they had gone and talked to some of the doctors, and the doctor came back in and she was washing her hands in the sink, and I said, if it isn't cancer, I'm just really curious, what else could it be? You know, if it's not cancer, what are we looking at? And she just dropped her head down and looked in the sink, and she looked at her hands, and it felt like 5 minutes went by. I'm sure it was only 30 seconds. But then she looked up and she said, it is cancer. I see cancer all the time, and that's what this is.
I don't know. I mean, I'd wanted to. I love doing the little like do-it-yourself little documentary things. So I'd wanted to do one, and I don't know. I mean, just like I guess hearing about Tamika is just such a perfect subject. And actually, initially, I thought I was going to do something about just tragedy and humor, and which was like a much broader subject. But I was thinking about like, okay, like I have this experience with my mom that I really want to share. Tamika's experience, one of my best friends, he was just hilarious, he's this class clown, but his dad passed away when he was a lot younger of cancer. And those are like, I feel like the best examples in my life of the humor and tragedy, and all of them had to do with cancer, so I thought like, why not narrow it in to cancer and comedy?
For me, that tragedy and comedy, those things belong together in every way. I've never seen a drama, even the darkest drama, that didn't have some snippets of comedy, and vice versa. And in my life, when I got my cancer diagnosis, I had to really look at my mortality, and that could be really, really scary. But when you're looking at the fact that your life is so fragile, it also begs the question, how trivial is it? How trivial is life? And when you're right up against death like that, life seems incredibly trivial. Every little thing that we do. And to be fully committed to something so trivial is laughable. It's just laughable.
I think the way that I would look at it is it's something that helps you forget that you're falling into the pit. One example, I was sitting right there actually. One of the home health nurses was like a hospice nurse, was sitting like right here explaining what we were going to be going through, what was going to be happening, how my mom was suffering, this terrible, the worst conversation you can possibly have. But my dog, Patches, was in the other room just going crazy, like running around, not caring. And from sitting right there, I was the only one that could see it. And so everybody else was super serious, and I was just watching my dog like running around. And I actually started laughing at the table, and it was extremely inappropriate, and I had to excuse myself. But it was just little moments like that that were like really helped. And I think that's was at least yeah, I think that was the inspiration. Those little moments were the inspiration for all of this. You're still, I mean, you're still, all the bad stuff is still happening, but you know, you might as well not think about it for a moment, you know.